Hey y'all, and welcome to Politibrawl. My name is Brian, and Melanie Stansbury gets into it with James Comer, and what she has to say will make you lose brain cells when it comes to the crime in DC. Let's dive in.
First of all, I want to say welcome to the people of Washington, D.C. who have flooded this hearing room on a day in which we are hearing a set of bills that have not so much as had a single public hearing. Let me just emphasize that. Not a single bill on this docket has had a public hearing as of yet. And I don't think that it is any mistake that this markup to vote these bills out of committee is happening on the last day that Donald Trump has ordered our nation's National Guard to occupy this city. There are no coincidences here, folks. So I have some questions for the chairman because we don't actually have witnesses here to testify about these bills. So my first question for you, Mr. Chairman, is where did these bills come from? Where did this package come from?
We've been talking about these bills for a year now, and you know that, Ms. Stansbury.
But why is this package being brought forward today?
This is a markup. That's when you vote on bills.
I understand the congressional procedure, but why is this committee marking up a set of bills today without a hearing? Did the president ask you to do this?
We're debating the bills as we speak. That's what a markup is.
Mr. Comer, did the president ask you to hold this?
I haven't talked to the president.
Was this markup called pursuant to the president's occupation of Washington, D.C.?
We've had this markup on the books for a long time.
And so there was no coordination.
You're participating in a markup.
There was no coordination with the White House on this markup.
I haven't talked to the White House, but I mean, there's
so you
always
didn't consult with the White House on this bill?
We support the president's.
You didn't consult with the White House on the development of a bill that would create the actual entity that he said he wanted? There was no coordination with the White House on this bill?
We support what the president's done. We've sat back and watched, and we've seen the crime rates go down significantly in Washington, D.C., and we want to make sure that crime stays down in Washington, D.C. If you don't like the bill, you can vote against it.
No, I'm asking you a question because we haven't heard this bill. Was this bill drafted in coordination with the White House? I'm asking the question.
It's not my bill.
Okay. Does the sponsor want to answer that question?
I would say that we support President Trump, and bottom line.
It's just a simple question. Did you coordinate with the White House in the development of this bill?
People are dying in Washington, D.C.
Why can't you answer the question?
Mr. Chairman, we need order. We need order, Mr. Chairman.
It's just a question.
This isn't a debate. Mr. Chairman, we need order.
This actually is the debate. That is exactly what a markup is, my dear. This is a debate over the bill.
This should be common sense. We're just trying to keep the American people safe. They're dying in D.C.
I just asked you a simple question.
And we are looking at President Trump's plan has worked.
Washington, D.C.
So we are going to codify what President Trump did to keep the American people safe.
Okay, thank you.
I don't care if you're a Democrat, Republican, or independent. We love you. But we've got to keep you safe.
Okay, let me ask you another question. I'm going to ask the sponsor this question. Have you ever been inside of City Hall? Yes or no?
I have not.
Have you ever attended a city council meeting here in Washington, D.C.?
I have spoken with people all over D.C. and restaurants and everything else. Have you ever attended a city council meeting here in Washington, D.C.? And they thank us that they can walk down the street and walk their dog and ride on a subway without getting stabbed.
Did you consult with the mayor or the council or any members of law enforcement
people coming out of Baltimore and other places because they know the laws are too lax here and it's not safe?
I'm asking the sponsor of this bill, did you consult with the mayor or the city council in the development of this bill?
I consulted with the people of Washington, D.C.
You did? Can you tell us some of who you consulted with?
John, Congress has jurisdiction over Washington.
Can you tell us who you consulted with, sir?
Congress has jurisdiction over Washington, D.C., but
I'm asking you a very simple question. Who did you consult with?
Did you consult with I just answered you, but you're not.
Did you consult with the law enforcement of Washington, D.C.?
I talked to police officers as well, yes.
I'm asking the gentleman
I spoke with law enforcement. I spoke with restaurant owners. I spoke with people walking their dogs all around D.C.
Oh, you
they said,
talked to people walking their dogs. That's
thank
how
God
you
we can walk down
the
the street without being stabbed or mugged to be part of a drive-by. I can't believe a Democrat, Republican, Independent would not like this common sense legislation
do you live
that
in the
keeps people
Washington,
safe.
Do you live in the Washington, D.C.
Well, the
area?
gentlelady.
We're all here.
I'm asking you
I've been here
question.
9
Are
months.
you a resident of Washington, D.C.?
Recognize her colleague from Louisiana.
Sir, I have my time here. I'm asking the sponsor of the bill. You have debate time on your own. There's plenty of time to debate. Do you live here in the city of Washington,
We are all
D.C.?
here in D.C. representing our districts across the country.
Exactly,
and we
sir.
have jurisdiction
and so that
over
is
Washington,
exactly
D.C.
my point. If you wanted to run for mayor of Washington, D.C., then you could move to Washington and run in a democratic, free and fair election.
Time's
and
expired.
actually become a city official.
Yo, I think I lose more brain cells listening to people like Melanie Stansbury than I ever did on a binge drinking night, okay? This is an asinine set of questioning. Do you live in D.C.? So, if you have to rent out of D.C., okay, you're in the area, I think that means you're going to get a pretty darn good look on how the policing is working, on how the sewage is flowing, how the plumbing works, because you've been there for 9 months out of the year. What an asinine direction to take this. And then the rest of this video is equally as bizarre. Did you talk to the city council members? This is not an elementary school when you're trying to deal with two children that are fighting over the same toy, okay? This is not daycare. We are here to deal with problems, at least from the perspective of being in Congress. And if there's a problem in D.C., guess what? Congress is going to be the one that has some jurisdiction over said problems. And yet you have this weird, scolding, annoying elementary school teacher that's just going, no, you need to go through the proper channels. You need to share your toys. This kind of feminine-coded nonsense, and I do apologize to the ladies watching the show, but when you are addressing a group of people, you don't address them like you're some scolding teacher. Okay? This ain't Sunday school, where little Susie and little Ricky are fighting each other over who gets to put the little felt characters up on the big blue board, okay? That's not what this is. These are grown people making decisions that will affect hundreds of thousands of people, which, by the way, could use a little bit of help to deal with their crime problem. After all, D.C. has lost a ton of its police force in the past 5 years. I wonder why that happened. I wonder if there was some massive campaign that said something along the lines of taking away money from the police. Oh, that's right, defund the police. That was their mantra 101, and now they've been trying to walk that back, say they've never said it. Sorry, Melanie, we've got your colleagues on camera. We have videos up the wazoo of y'all calling for this nonsense. And now there's more studies out there that are saying that the Democrats think that they need to go further to the left. Okay, come ahead. We're not the ones that live in D.C. after all. And I'm saying this from the luxury of my home out in Georgia, okay? But I've lived in that area. I know where the safe neighborhoods are, and I know where they're not. And I can tell you one thing, Melanie, I had to live and quite literally drive around the city to know where these neighborhoods are. I didn't have to go to a city councilman. I didn't have to go to the local police force, although I have dealt with them. And boy, they were just beyond demoralized. It was honestly heartbreaking having to report a crime and realize that these people don't want to do their jobs. The policemen are that demoralized, even though that was the easiest precinct in perhaps all of D.C. The fact that we have reached this point where Republicans are having to go in there and fix the mess of Democrat cities tells me that two things are going on at the same time. Number one, that this rich white liberal mentality, and in this case, affluent white female urban liberals, the awfuls, this mentality has taken over the entirety of the Democrat Party, and that's where the there is one more source of momentum for them, and that's the radical left. But you have these rich white liberals who do not want to take responsibility, that want to feel good rather than governing well. They care more about their feelings, their emotions, and their fancy cocktail parties on Friday evenings than they do about keeping their neighbors safe. That is a certain kind of evil right there. It's a twisted mindset. It is an evil of ignorance. And yet these people know what they're doing. All right? Melanie Stansbury knows what she's doing. And all she's trying to do is just say that, oh, well, did you coordinate this with the president? Aha! I've gotcha. So what? Right now, what Trump is doing in D.C. has seemed to be working, okay? It has seemed to work. From the reports, basically from the lack of major stories, I have not been able to see direct data. What I have noticed, however, is that the mainstream media is not picking out a random factoid so they can blow it out of proportion like they always seem to do. That tells me that from the silence on their side that it's working. Because no one's going to admit that it's working. No one's going to admit that in the mainstream media. But that means that I know something is going right by their silence. That is how crazy the Democrat Party has gotten. And then the other thing that's going on here, I'm going to be honest, it is the issue of giving Republicans any credit. Because Democrats know that they've lacked the political will, and so they've had to back off. The mayor has backed off and said, I just need to let it happen. She has not been protesting this, unlike other Democrat mayors. The mayor of Los Angeles, she's been going crazy every time the Supreme Court says, no, this is constitutional. What Trump's doing is 100% legal. Deal with it. And instead, she's out there screaming like a banshee, talking about how bad it is to deport these illegal migrants. It is beyond bizarre. And so the takeaway is the Democrats know what good governance looks like. They do. They just refuse to do it. They refuse to do it, and it's all because they have to tailor their entire party, their entire message to rich, white liberals. The great pizza pie of the 6 major parts of the Democrat Party is pretty much just now 2 slices left. Technically 3. And it's rich white liberals and their children. Okay, and their children are going further to the left. All right, these are the ones that think pineapple on pizza is delicious, and you should also put broccoli on your pizza. Okay, these kids are nuts. Okay, there actually is one scenario where pineapple on pizza is really good. It's when you have an Alfredo sauce and chicken. Okay, that's actually a really great combo. Sorry, I know people really get mad over this issue. But when it comes to the issue of crime, you think that the Democrats would have a better record, but they lack the political will. So you have Melanie Stansbury trying to do anything she can to deflect from the problems and instead try to make this about Trump, when what this really is about the residents of D.C. and how much protections they deserve. And Melanie Stansbury does not want to give them or grant them said protections. This is borderline evil, in my opinion. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. My name is Brian. Hope you enjoyed that segment here on Politibrawl. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you on the next one. Until then, y'all have a good one.